Everyone, championship season is here, and this weekend we will crown the team that proved to be the best in the SIAC for this year's football season. Will it be Albany State? Will it be Miles College? These two will meet for the third consecutive postseason to figure it all out, man. I mean, Miles has won the last two, but this year, I am sure the Golden Rams and Albany State Nation all in on a different outcome. They'll figure it out on the field. Now, Miles entered last weekend having to play their way in. I mean, they were not a lock. There were three teams out west that could have made it to the championship game this weekend, but in the second half against Tuskegee, the Golden Bears left no doubt. Highlights brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. This game was 21-17 at the half, and it seemed like Miles might be in a dogfight for a divisional title, but there was only one big dog in the second half. Miles scored not one, not two, not three, not four. Yeah, that's my LeBron there, but 5 straight touchdowns, starting at the midpoint of the third quarter until about halfway through the fourth quarter. It was an offensive showcase backed up by a staunch defensive effort. Miles allowed one scoring drive late in the fourth for what nearly amounted to a picture-perfect second half, but without a doubt, a huge win and another berth into the SIAC Championship game, winning 52-23 over rival Tuskegee. Miles may have checked the scoreboard at halftime and saw what Kentucky State was doing to Central State. The Thoroughbreds were up 28-0 at the half and just running all over the field against the Marauders. KSU ran for 426 yards, picked up 7 rushing touchdowns. They only threw the ball 4 times the entire game. Never punted the ball at all. The defense held Central State to just 2 first downs for the entire game. For Albany State, this run to the postseason has been a very bittersweet one. On one hand, they are having this absolutely phenomenal season. But on the other hand, as we shared with you last weekend, their hearts are heavy as they continue to mourn the loss of their teammate, Adonis Butler. That was on the mind of every Albany State player heading into the Fountain City Classic against Fort Valley State last weekend. And they managed to honor their fallen teammate in an incredible way. Our Vaughn Wilson was there.
It's tough to decide if the 31st annual Fountain City Classic was a football game or a movie. The week started as a tragedy and ended as a drama. On Monday, November 2nd, it was as if the world had stopped rotating on the campus of Albany State University. Word quickly spread of a fatal accident on campus. When the dust settled, Albany State football player Adonis Butler, who wore number 57 with the Golden Rams, was deceased following a bus accident on campus. Butler was on his way to football practice. A cloud hung over the campus and the city, a week that was normally rivalry week, and the annual Fountain City Classic took a back seat as the university tried to deal with the unthinkable. Coach Gabe Gardenia and his staff had to deal with the balance of grieving and consoling the players and preparing for their arch rival, Fort Valley State.
And couldn't be proud of the coaches, the way they held everybody together this week, and just super proud of the staff, and really excited for Albany State.
The players and staff decided to honor their fallen comrade with a victory against the Wildcats and dedicated the game to his memory.
Long live AD, that's my brother.
The Fountain City Classic is known for some of the best tailgating in all the country, and this year would be no different. While the grills were smoking in the parking lot, Fort Valley State head coach Maurice Flowers was preparing his team in bracing for a battle with the SIAC Eastern Division champions. Fort Valley State band and cheerleaders joined in the festivities. On the other sideline, there was but one focus, and from the opening kick, it was apparent that ASU would dominate in memory of their fallen teammate number 57. Hollywood actor Chris Tucker performed the pregame coin toss, and even he knew that it was going to be ASU's day. Quarterback Deontay Banu took this first touchdown in himself on the Rams' first drive. As the game went on, the defense became stronger, holding Fort Valley State to just 148 yards of total offense. By halftime, between a smothering defense, solid special teams, and a potent offense, Albany State was up 38-0. As the second half started, ASU kept applying the pressure.
I mean, we were sitting there at halftime, and I said, how do we score 19 points? And they're like 2 touchdowns and a safety and a field. Like, it's like never going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And then we just said, just whatever. We'll see what happens. And like, let's just go score. And then, when we kicked the field goal, we knew we needed 9. And they're like, well, hey, we can kick now and try to score 6 later. And, so we had the one drive in between where we didn't really piss a drop. And I went to the OC, I was letting him call. I said, Adam, throw the ball. We have to score. And we said we're going to take a knee after that. And I don't know if I've ever seen a more special moment on a football field. Everybody knew it. Everybody wanted to get the ball to his mom. And coincidentally, everybody in our whole team got a personal foul because they rushed the field. But I'm just so happy that we were able to honor AD, but also just honor the Lord and just get a blessing out of this.
Fortunately, Gabriel Ballinas added his 4th field goal of the day to bring the score to 51-0. With backup quarterback Jaden Sullivan under center, he rolled out on a bootleg and threw a 37-yard strike to Jaleel Johnson, who had beat his defender badly on a post pattern. The score put the Golden Rams up 57-0, and the whole team got a penalty as they marched down toward the scoreboard to soak up the moment. They had done it. They scored 57 points. The roar of the ASU fans, students, and alumni as they realized what had just happened was a moment to just soak in. Gardenia called for a kneel down of the extra point as not to disturb the perfect score.
For my boy AD, man, Superman. For Superman, 57. RPAD, man. We did it for you, bro. We had to.
I got something to say to him. AD right there. He ain't never leave us. He right there. He right there. That boy right there.
Yes, sir.
That boy right there.
Yes, sir.
He got it.
We got it. Man, we got it.
And the players honored their coach with a Gatorade bath. Making the ceremony more special was Adonis Butler's parents, his mom wearing his actual game jersey. The team dedicated the game ball to the family, and they participated in the post-game trophy presentation with the team. Steven Spielberg could not have written a script this well. Denzel Washington could not have played the role better, because it was real life. And on this day, the stars were in alignment for the Albany State University family. It was not just a win. It was not just a win in the Fountain City Classic. It was a perfect score, 57-0.
Really incredible stuff there. And they, being Albany State, just one game away from capping off an incredible SIAC season. And hopefully, no matter the outcome, on this coming Saturday, a deep run in the NCAA playoffs to award the great season that Albany State has had thus far. Now, there were other games played this weekend. No championships, no playoffs on the line, but a whole lot of pride, including the battle of the AUC. Clark Atlanta hosting Morehouse. Always an adventure with Morehouse and Clark Atlanta. Here's how this game unfolded. Morehouse started the game off by scoring 4 straight touchdowns to race to a 28-0 lead over CAU at Panther Stadium. Whose house? Lights out, right? Well, Clark Atlanta put together a drive in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Sharif Brown to Wimberly that made it 28-7 at the break. Well then, Clark Atlanta scores 3 unanswered touchdowns in the second half. Their last drive, 12 plays, 80 yards. Brown punches it in at the goal line. What can Brown do for you? 28-26 game. They are going for the 2-point conversion to tie the game. No dice. But, it's still not over. One more possession, but this fumble, now it's over. Touchdown, Morehouse. They win one to remember in Atlanta, 35-26 over CAU.
Atlanta, 26.
Okay, the rest of the scores from the final week of the regular season. Kentucky State, that's a misdemeanor. 63-0 over Central State. You see the work that was put in by Miles and Albany State, a couple of 50 burgers over the weekend there. The shootout in the AUC, we just talked about that one. Benedict and Lane. Watch out for those two teams next season. Just watch, all right? Those are my teams that are going to come through in the cut, I think. All right, Savannah State finishing off Edward Waters. All right, now coming up this weekend, of course, the main attraction is the SIAC Championship. You can see it on ESPN3. We're going to say it like 100 more times on this episode. Albany State and Miles. You can catch the game in Fairfield in person or catch it on TV, but Edward Waters and Allen were not eligible for a championship this season coming into the year. So they already scheduled a game at the end of the year, and it's the second annual AME Classic. Those two closing out the year. They will be on ESPN Plus. And again, that championship game, ESPN3, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central for all the marbles. Okay, our players of the week in the SIAC. You remember that song? I can see for miles and miles and miles and miles. That's 4 miles. A sweep by Miles. Dante Edwards, Kadarius Roberts, Jay Fitch, and Roosevelt Thompson. Clean sweep players of the week in the SIAC. Hey, I don't vote. I just read it. That's what the voters said. Okay, for all but 2 teams, it's wait until next year. So here's one final bon voyage look at where your favorite HBCU finished this year in the SIAC. I'll let you watch at home and discuss amongst yourselves. Alrighty then, let's move on to volleyball and our players of the week. Kana Smith from Benedict, she is your offensive player of the week. Chloe Luddy from Savannah State, she is your defensive player of the week. Okay, Ashley Reeves, also from BC, we see you, setter of the week. And with this young lady. Aren't we on a first name basis by now? She's just Emily. She's been here several times this year on our Player of the Week billboard. It doesn't even feel fair calling her a newcomer, but she wins the award. She's the newcomer of the week from Spring Hill. All right, Volleyball Championships kick off on Monday from Rock Hill, South Carolina, the 15th through the 17th. So volleyball standings, you need to take notes here. The West is set. Spring Hill is the top seed and the favorite. But man, Central State and Kentucky State are good as well. Out East, a lot is still in play. Clark Atlanta and Savannah State could switch based on their games on Thursday and Friday. If CAU beats Fort Valley State Thursday, they lock up the 3 seed. If CAU loses and then Savannah beats Albany State Friday night, then Savannah State is the 3rd seed in the East. Did you get it? Did you get it? Well, I mean, you're still gonna have to beat Spring Hill at the end of the day, so there's that. Or maybe not Spring Hill, but that's a good bet. Okay, this weekend, we're gonna crown a champion. Miles College. Albany State for the 3rd postseason in a row. They're going to do it again. It's like a heavyweight boxing trilogy. We're going to find out. We'll see you at the game. A lot of room there. You're welcome. Or you can catch it on ESPN3. It's TC from Atlanta. We'll talk to you next week all about who won the game.